Hey guys, how's it going? It's your friend Taylor Smith with you here today, and I want to show you guys an update on my 55 Chevy build. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded any progress on the truck, but I have still been working on it off camera, and I'll walk you through a couple of the things that I've done over the past few months as we get closer to finishing this truck. So come check it out. Here's that wood bed kit. This was one that I actually bought from LMC Truck and then stained it with some stuff from Home Depot, some polyurethane. All of the stainless pieces that you see actually came with the truck when I bought it, so I just had to buy a hardware kit and the wood, put it all in there, and it did come also with some stainless hardware for those bed sides where the fenders bolt in. So it's looking pretty sharp now, and one major thing that I had to do was I had to hole saw the bed out right here to put a marine fuel cap in, because I have a fuel cell in here and it sits really close to the top of the bed floor. Here's the fuel cell, and as you can see, it sits fairly low off the frame. It does give it a pretty cool look from the back though, and I have all of the new hardware into this, and you can see right there, that's a cross sill that I had to fabricate to fit that fuel cell in while still maintaining all the factory mounting positions for the whole bed itself. So that was one of the things I had to overcome while bolting this together. Otherwise, it was pretty straightforward. One of the things you probably already noticed was this exciting mess of wires in the bed here. And what that is part of a brand new wiring harness kit that I bought from American Auto Wire through Summit Racing. Since that last upload where you saw me struggle with the ignition system and the wiring underneath the dash, I just decided to rip it all out and start from new, because after 60-something years, this wiring had been tampered with so many times that it was pretty much hard to figure out where everything went. There was also no fuse panel under the dash, and everything was hardwired by the previous owner, which was just frankly dangerous. So I ripped it all out and I'm starting from new. So this is a pretty unsightly mess, but that's what happens when you start rewiring everything. Here's all the directions for everything from American Auto Wire. It's all pretty comprehensive. It's a good kit for sure. Everything's color coded, and the wires even have print on them for where they actually go. So this says coil to tack. Makes things really easy when you are spearheading this. I'm not a wiring expert by any means, but it's going along fairly quickly. Up here you'll see the new fuse panel, and this fuse panel is actually using the blade style, more modern fuses, which is very cool. And all this other wiring here is stuff that's yet to be done, but it's coming along, so you'll see that coming up soon here. The other cool thing about this kit is that it has provisions for power windows, power locks, power seats, air conditioning, cruise control, a lot of other modern features that I won't be putting into this truck, but it could be added later if one wanted to with this kit. So that's a pretty cool thing if you have one of these trucks. Moving on to the engine, I've only done a couple of things since you've seen it last, but it does look pretty good now. We had this piece powder coated that used to be orange, if you see the video from the day I bought it, and then changed all the hardware throughout the engine bay. Tried to polish this stainless piece back here a little bit. It came out a little bit better, so it's looking pretty good. And then of course I put a new air cleaner, an oval style with a lid on there to match the fin valve covers, so it's got that pretty vintage look. And obviously I have some more wiring to do under here. I have to redo the charge system completely. I'm going to put a new regulator in it, and then all of this wiring here to go to the headlights and whatnot. Next today I'm going to work on that starter, which I'll do off camera and show you guys it all finished up. What would any cool hot rod truck be without a brand new set of chrome wheels to put on it? Here you see an 18x8 US Mag U104. I bought those from Summit as well, and it is really good looking on this truck. It's not too often that I see trucks like this with wheels that I really like, but these really do it for me. I went with a staggered fitment, so the fronts are 18x8s, and the rears, they're not here yet, but they will be 20x9.5 with a 5¼ inch back spacing. This truck does sit on Dodge Volare suspension, so I had to adapt the hubs from the truck from a 5-on-4.5 lug pattern up to the 5-on-4 3/4 lug pattern of the Chevrolet style wheels. And then this tire is a 245/40/18, which was almost an identical sidewall to this 275/35/20 that I'm putting on the back. And you can see that tire is gonna sit pretty well up into the fender with that 20x9.5. It's gonna give it a nice aggressive stance, and I am really thrilled to see that come together on the truck. If there's anything that makes a car, obviously it's the wheels. So hopefully you guys like the decision I made on these wheels. We'll skip a couple days from now to when I finish up some of this stuff and hopefully have the wheels on the truck, and maybe we'll go take it for a ride. Well, here we are a few days later. I did get the wheels on here, and the wiring is pretty much done. I've got the whole charge system rewired, starter solenoid, front lights, rear lights, dash lights, everything's done. So here it is with the rear wheels. And this fitment is actually pretty aggressive on the back. That is a 20x9.5, again, US mag, and it really tucks up in there with that 1.25" adapter that I had to use. It basically stuck the wheel right where it needed to be to clear these fenders and the inner bed there. So really cool looking wheels on this thing, and it's just got the right rake to it. The inside's still a mess, but it's pretty much buttoned up as far as the wiring's concerned. I'm gonna put a radio in and just a couple more little things, so I'll show you that now. You can see I've got the column all wired up. I've got my light out here so I can show you everything I did under the dash. Here's that new fuse panel again. All the fuses are in. Got all the wiring way tucked up, and then a big loom going across the bottom of the dash here, all the way over to the heater controls. The heater box is next to go in, and then I also have a shifter I'll be putting in here. So here's the new shifter I got. It's a low car automatic shifter in a 23-inch chrome with a brushed aluminum knob. This is actually a little lockout push button in here, and I think this is really going to set off the interior of the truck. It's a really cool looking shifter. It came with a new neutral safety switch, and it's linkage operated instead of cable operated. So I'm going to mount this thing now, and I'll show you guys this all put together. Well, I just finished up the shifter. I put the seat in just to check the clearance on the throw of it, and I got the linkage all hooked up, so it's ready to go. That's the mounting bracket that goes on top of the TH400, and then it's linkage operated again, not the cable. And this thing is pretty cool. It's got the button up here. Hit that, you got your full throw of all your gears. Well, it's another day here, and I finally got this heater box in. This is all repainted nicely, so we've got our blower motor all hooked up, heater box with the heater core in there, and finally I got the last of the interior done. So I'll show you this piece here. Before, the shifter was actually mounted slightly to the left, and this was dead center on top of the transmission. I had to cut out a little bit more on this side actually to get it to fit, and then I just went and got a piece of sheet metal from Ace Hardware, screwed it in around there just to fill the void from the old shifter, just to keep the fumes and the noise out. So next step will be actually throwing the carpets over for the first time ever, and I'll show you how I mounted that heater box having this aluminum piece in here on the firewall. I ended up drilling those out. The 2 heater core pickups I got with the 1-inch hole saw. The rest I just drilled out, and I put some nice finishing nuts on here. Those are little acorn nuts all polished, so it doesn't look like a total eyesore on that piece right there. Well, stay tuned. Tomorrow I'm hoping to get the rest of the carpets put in, the bench seat mounted, and then you guys will come along with me for the first ever ride in the 55 pickup. Well, here we are, guys, about 2 weeks later. I know I said in that last clip I would be doing a bunch of things the next day, which I did, but I ran into some problems, like always with these. The heater core broke on me, started leaking coolant all over the carpet, and I had to clean all that, rip the heater box back out, and put a new heater core in, which I should have done from the beginning, but that was a detail I overlooked. So behind you right now is this truck 100% complete, and I'm going to take you through it right now, and then we'll go for a ride. So watch this. There it is, guys. 100% complete. And it is sitting perfectly right now. I had to jack up the front torsion bars just to get it to turn without scraping. But it is 100% done. I had to pull the bed kit out again, actually, to get the a ground strap on the sending unit on the tank so that the fuel gauge would work. So that's all working now, and I'll show you inside here. All new door weather stripping. I refastened all of the door panels, and I actually had these carpeted pieces made. As you remember from before, it was painted and it wasn't painted very well, so this is covering it all up. And then we have that bed liner material there. It's a little more functional. So it is wrapped up. Everything is in, shifter's in, shifter boot. The dome light even works. I rewired that, and then I put some 6x9s behind the seat. Very simple, just for that stereo that's in the dash there. So it is wrapped up. The last thing to do, you guys, is take it for a ride. So let's jump in. It actually runs pretty well too. So I ran it once earlier today when I parked it, but fires right up. Got good oil pressure. And it's actually kind of cool with that sunshade out there. It provides a lot of shade in here, so it stays pretty cool in the cab. New shifter we put in, and we're off. You know, I really have to say, there's something that's so cool about driving this truck. I mean, it's the shape of it is just so cool. I mean, it turns heads everywhere. So it's this is the full experience right here with me. It's all come together finally. Well guys, that concludes the 1955 Chevy Truck restoration project. You went with me to pick it up, you saw me get it running, and now you've seen the finished work that went into getting this project running and driving. Thank you guys so much for tuning in the past 4 months to see this truck come back to life. It's been a trying process, and I know you guys only saw a glimpse of everything that went into it, but I'm glad to be able to take you along for the ride. If you guys are interested in seeing any more automotive content like this, please subscribe to my channel and give the videos a big thumbs up if you find any of them helpful or if you just enjoyed them. That concludes today's video on the 55 truck, and I will see you guys next video.